When Joel made a big show of taking his junior Gloria to Hokkaido for a ski trip, I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I calmly asked to break up. He exploded in anger. Are you ****ing serious? Just because I didn't take you skiing, you're making a scene like this? But it wasn't just because he abandoned me again and again for that junior. It was because the brown sugar from the convenience store downstairs was too far, and he'd rather watch me curl up in pain than make the short trip for me. Yet Hokkaido was thousands of miles away. Because Gloria cried, he didn't hesitate to spend the money we'd saved for our wedding just to take her there. That was when I realized I'd had enough of this rotten life. He slammed the door as he left, throwing out a final threat for me to make a fuss all I want. But on the first day after he left, I signed the overseas assignment contract at work. On the second day, I packed up and hauled away all my belongings. On the third day, I smashed the love wall I had built with my own hands. On the fourth day, I said goodbye to my friends and drank until I was completely wasted. Until the seventh day. His arrival and my departure crossed paths. You head to Xiaoxiang, I head to Qin. From now on, we are strangers at opposite ends of the world. #Chapter 1. Joel sprang up from the sofa, scrambling to pack his suitcase, shouting at me without even lifting his head. Anna, transfer me the money from the love account. Gloria just saw another jerk showing off his romance online and had a breakdown. She wants to go skiing in Hokkaido to clear her head. Everyone else is busy, so I'm the only one who can take her. I held a cup of brown sugar water delivered from outside, my fingertips icy cold. On WeChat, Gloria's message was still there. The snow in Hokkaido is so beautiful. Borrowing senior brother for a week, thanks, sis. She added a tongue-out emoji at the end. Only I knew how disgusting the provocation behind that playful tone truly was. Yet I was so calm I couldn't even stir up the slightest ripple of anger anymore. That's the money we saved together for our wedding. Yeah, I know. I won't use yours. Just transfer me my share. Joel shoved me aside, completely ignoring the way I clutched my stomach in weakness. He reached into the gap behind me on the sofa and grabbed his power bank. Just so we're clear, don't make a scene this time. After the ski trip, Gloria's going back. From then on, even if she wants to get in your face, she'd have to cross thousands of miles. He kept packing, never once looking at me. The dim yellow light fell across his face, glowing with excitement and anticipation. Nothing had changed. And yet he felt terrifyingly unfamiliar. So this is what it looks like when traveling thousands of miles for someone you truly care about doesn't feel exhausting at all. #Chapter 2. An hour earlier, I had suddenly doubled over on the sofa from cramps, unable to get up. I begged Joel to go downstairs and buy me a pack of brown sugar. His fingers kept swiping across the tablet, his brows tightly furrowed. While picking out cat food, a bed, and toys for Gloria's stray cat, he replied absent-mindedly. Come on, it's about to snow. It's freezing outside, and I'd have to cross the street. Don't be dramatic. Your husband's human too. I slave away outside for a few miserable dollars, and when I come home I still have to slave for you. I'm exhausted. And brown sugar water is just a marketing scam. It's all sugar water, no different from white sugar. We've got white sugar at home. Make it yourself. Then, without looking up from the toy selection, he muttered under his breath. They're both girls. Haven't seen anyone else this delicate. The someone else was Gloria, the junior connected to his headset on the other end of the screen. I let out a breath and asked bluntly. So taking half a day off to cross half the city to buy her candied hawthorn isn't slavery? That's not troublesome, right? Joel's finger froze on the screen. When he looked up, there was nothing left in his eyes but cold irritation. Do you really have to nitpick like this? Gloria's a guest, and she's my teacher's daughter. She's unfamiliar with the city. Shouldn't I show some hospitality? Anna, I used to think you were sensible. How did you turn into this? Sensible. So because I was sensible, I was supposed to swallow all my grievances alone and force a smile at his indifference and bullying. #Chapter 3. After a breakup, Gloria showed up in our city without even telling us, and stayed for 2 months. In those 2 months, Joel abandoned me for her again and again. When I had a fever and a cold, Joel climbed a mountain with her to watch the night view. When I was stranded in a torrential downpour, Joel stood by the floor-to-ceiling window with her cooking hot pot while listening to the rain. When I landed from a business trip at midnight, he had turned off his phone to watch a movie with her. Even all of Gloria's expenses in Nanchang, Joel paid for them using the money we had saved for our wedding photos and honeymoon. His excuse was always the same. Anna, you've always been understanding. Don't put me in a difficult position. When I was in school, I struggled. My teacher invited me over for countless meals. The encouragement, comfort, and tolerance she gave me were the only warmth in my cramped childhood. Without her, I wouldn't be where I am today. Do you understand? Forget a bit of money. If my teacher asked, I'd give her half my life. I understood that Joel wanted to repay kindness. When someone once shown as the only light in your life, going all out for them is understandable. If I complained, I was petty, ungrateful, small-minded. But does repaying kindness mean sharing a pair of chopsticks with his junior? Does it mean warming her feet in his hands? Does it mean putting the proposal ring he had secretly saved for me on her finger? Every single thing, Gloria sent them to me herself. And at the end she would always add, "Sis is so understanding, you wouldn't mind, right?" They all say senior brother's girlfriend looks bitter and petty. You won't prove them right, will you? Chapter 4. They referred to Joel's classmates, Gloria's senior brothers. Because Gloria's return date was uncertain, and the five-star hotel cost thousands per night, I suggested booking a more affordable homestay. Gloria's eyes immediately turned red. I've caused trouble for all the seniors. Don't book the hotel. I'll leave tomorrow. With that one sentence, I was nailed to the pillar of stingy shame. After that, they deliberately left me out at gatherings. They ignored me at KTV. Even during a rafting trip, they calculated things in advance so I'd be left alone, forced to pair up with strangers. Joel knew all of it. At first, he apologized carefully and tried to comfort me. Then came dissatisfied silence. Finally, annoyed frowns. Can't you just blend in? Look how Gloria gets along with everyone. Learn from her. Sweeten your tone a bit. Will it kill you? But I didn't have a radiant mother who let me enjoy residual warmth without doing anything. When I tried to please them, they mocked me behind my back, calling it pathetic imitation and spineless flattery. Eventually, their gatherings no longer included me at all. The kettle on the stove boiled violently. Joel walked in and out, phone in hand, soothing Gloria, who was crying because I had upset her and insisting on going home. The contrast was stark, his coldness and belittlement toward me versus his warmth and concern for her. I no longer had the strength to argue. I took out my phone and ordered brown sugar. Leaning weakly against the door while waiting for delivery, I heard Joel whispering to Gloria. "Hey, don't cry. Hot pot cake and flowers, plus toys for our son, are on the way. Tell our son his dad's relief supplies, and mom's emotional support, are being delivered." After hanging up, the smile vanished from his lips instantly. When our eyes met, his face was as cold as iron in winter. "Is this fun for you? Saying that in front of Gloria, what's the point? Haven't you eaten candied hawthorn before? Haven't I bought you gifts across cities?" His irritation and displeasure, once invisible to me, had become painfully familiar. What can I say? Watching a relationship rot in front of you. Helpless. Painful. Regretful. But love takes two people to begin. To end it, only one person has to change their heart. Even knowing it was over, I couldn't suppress the bitterness. You can order a whole night's worth of things for them. Why couldn't you think of ordering me a pack of brown sugar? I let out a dry laugh. Because I'm not important, right? My pain isn't as urgent as Gloria's tears. So my brown sugar water isn't as important as the hot pot cake that makes her happy. Joel froze. So he did know he was biased. But his instinctive choice had always been Gloria. Why compare her candied hawthorn with the gift I bought you across cities? Is she your girlfriend too? Joel's pupils shrank. He understood everything. Yet he deliberately used gratitude to bind me, to emotionally blackmail me, turning me into the fool who swallowed everything in silence. I let out a faint laugh and pushed past him before he could argue further. Don't explain. If I'm the bitter girlfriend, then I should exit your life the same way I exited your circle. The door slammed shut, cutting off his hurried explanation. Later, the delivery girl brought my brown sugar water. Seeing that I couldn't straighten my back, She gently reminded me that if the cramps were unbearable, I should go to the hospital. I nodded gratefully. The warmth of a stranger burned brighter than the indifference of someone beside me. I nearly cried that night. When I turned around, Joel was already standing behind me. I'm sorry. You've always been understanding. Just accommodate me this once, just this once. My teacher treated me like a son. I owe her more than I can ever repay. He boiled water, made brown sugar tea, warmed my feet, cooked porridge, then lay beside me on the sofa, coaxing softly. Gloria only came here because she got dumped. She has no one here. I can't just ignore her. We're just like siblings, nothing inappropriate. I promise. Next week I'll personally send her back to my teacher, and then I won't get involved with her again. Honey, promise me you won't make a scene. I know I've neglected you lately, but we have a lifetime together. There's no need to fight her for this short time, right? He didn't know. We didn't have a lifetime anymore. When he ordered hot pot and cake for Gloria, I had already answered a call from my company. He was too busy comforting his junior to hear anything. I accepted a transfer. Next week, I would leave. Joel, and our 5 years, would be left behind in Nanchang. Anna, stop this nonsense. Joel's suppressed irritation pulled me back from my thoughts. Looking at the face that was always ready to flare with anger, I decisively took out my phone and transferred him every cent of the 310,000 yuan he had stored with me. Not a single cent less. Chapter 5. You probably don't need that much, but whatever. Better to have extra money when traveling. I can't let a girl suffer by following me. I'll transfer the rest back to you when I return. My hand stiffened around the phone. A laugh slipped out of me involuntarily. I can't let you suffer with me, Anna. So I've decided that from now on, I'll live frugally and save up bit by bit for our grand wedding. The image of him spinning me around in his arms as he said that still felt vivid. And now that money was going to another girl, the one he couldn't bear to let suffer with him. Clang. When Joel yanked the charger cable in a hurry, my cup tipped over. A full cup of brown sugar water spilled across the floor. Joel frowned, irritation etched between his brows. Can't you keep the house a little tidier? Look at Gloria, she's younger than you but more capable. Even in bed. He froze mid-sentence. But when he met my calm gaze, he defensively raised his voice. I mean from the photos. You're going to start again, aren't you? Can you stop being so annoying and let me have a pleasant start to my trip for once? He only looked like this when he knew he was wrong, stubborn, neck stiff, refusing to admit defeat. Junior sister. Innocent. Every word so clean. But he had slept in Gloria's bed. Under what circumstances does a girl let a man sleep in her bed? The answer didn't need spelling out. The pain in my lower abdomen spread, piercing into my heart, cold and sharp. It could be even more pleasant. I curved my lips into the coldest smile and said word by word, let's break up. Joel's hand froze on the zipper of his suitcase. In an instant, his face darkened, gloomier than the snow-heavy sky outside. I knew it. You just can't let me have peace. It's just because I didn't take you skiing. You're making this into such a big deal. You like to make a scene. Then go ahead, make as much of a scene as you want. The door slammed shut with a bang. A rush of icy wind hit my face, and the tears I had held back for so long finally fell. Chapter 6. I knew. Joel was standing outside the door, waiting for me to open it. That was our agreement. No matter how fierce the argument, no matter how big the fight. As long as the one who walked out stayed outside the door. And as long as the one who stayed was willing to open it. It meant we were giving each other a way out. Everything unpleasant would be wiped clean. In the past, we had covered up cracks like this countless times, pretending nothing was wrong. But this time, I looked at the stains spreading from the spilled brown sugar water at my feet. It had seeped deep into the carpet I had searched so long to find, ruining it beyond repair. Too stained to wash clean. Too expensive to throw away. How much it resembled my relationship. Tasteless to keep, yet a pity to discard. I didn't want to open that door anymore. On the phone monitor, Joel leaned the back of his head against the wall. His sharp brows were tightly knit, his face full of irritation and conflict. He was afraid that once the door opened, I wouldn't let him leave. But this time, he overestimated himself. Finally, when Gloria's WeChat notification lit up his phone, he glanced once at the tightly shut door and walked away without looking back. I picked up the stained carpet and, without hesitation, shoved it into the trash can. Once it's dirty, it's no longer needed. Then I ordered a box of painkillers on my phone. If it can be bought with your phone, don't expect others. That was something Joel had once thrown at me. A new message popped up. It was Joel. I'm leaving. A week should be enough for you to throw your tantrum, right? He still thought I was just making a fuss. But not this time. I swallowed the painkiller, turned off my phone, and sank into a heavy sleep. From beginning to end, I didn't care whether he stayed or left. Chapter 7. When Joel's plane landed, Gloria updated her social media. A tall back view, pushing 2 bulky suitcases, with a pink cartoon bag slung over his shoulder. It was Joel. Her caption read, "The way someone rushed through the clouds for me without hesitation, childish, but so reassuring." Joel's friends quickly flooded the post with likes. Oscar's girlfriend, one of Joel's buddy's partners, commented, "Anna, didn't she say last time your honeymoon was also planned for Hokkaido? Are you guys going together?" 1 minute later, the blatantly boastful post was deleted. Right after that, Joel messaged me. "Explain it in the alumni group chat. Gloria's just in a bad mood. Say you were generous enough to let me take her out to relax. They already don't like you. This is your chance to clear your name. Don't miss it." I understood. So I posted in the group. If I don't belong to a circle, I won't force my way in. No need to create secret subgroups to complain about me anymore. Wishing you all an everlasting friendship. Then I exited the chat. After that, I turned off my phone and pushed open my supervisor's office door. I signed the transfer appointment letter. Back when I chose to stay in South City for Joel, everyone felt sorry for me. But even today, watching love rot after ripening, like overripe persimmons smashed on the ground, I don't regret that choice. Because when I loved him the most, choosing to stay for love was my own decision. So I won't dwell on it. I won't look back later when I have both reputation and success, and curse fate for losing some so-called precious love. Only after suffering enough in love, did I realize how sweet it is to hold money and an exit plan firmly in my own hands. Joel's dozens of missed calls and messages were deleted with one tap. I have far too much to do. I don't have the energy left to entertain his roaring. Chapter 8. In the little apartment I had lived in for 5 years, in just one night, everything that belonged to me was packed into boxes. Some were shipped back to my hometown. Some were stuffed into suitcases, ready to leave with me. Joel stopped contacting me. That was how he showed anger. And how every Cold War between us began. In the past, I could never help myself. When the pain was so unbearable, I rolled across the bed. When familiar objects suffocated me with memories. When emotions flooded over me and I lost control, I would bow my head. Cheap. Spineless. Pathetic. I knew all of it. But I couldn't stop. The tumor clung to my heart. Every tug only hurt me. One cut wouldn't even faze the tumor, yet what spurted wildly was my own heart's blood. The withdrawal had started long ago. From the moment I stopped attending their alumni gatherings. Every retreat of mine carved another slice off the walls of my heart. After enough cuts, the pain turned numb. And I realized that leaving him was actually the least painful part. Gloria couldn't resist flaunting their honeymoon. She hooked her arm around Joel's from Nakajima Park to Tanakakoji Shopping Street. She sent me messages. "Sis, Hokkaido is so beautiful. You must come next time. Oh, this honeymoon guide was made by you, right? You must have really wanted to come. So I came for you. Senior is mad, but it's okay. I'll help you calm him down." I turned off my phone. The next day, I quietly booked a handyman. In the center of our little home stood a pink heart-shaped wall I had built with my own hands. It separated the kitchen from the living room and was covered with photos recording every step Joel and I had taken together. One by one, I took down the photos and threw them into the trash. I once said, if love isn't as solid as rock, this heart wall will collapse with it. So while Gloria and Joel played in the hot springs, while she mischievously told me, "I'll send every view to you, sis, so it's like you've been here too," I took the hammer from the handyman. Bang! The heart wall fell. It had taken an entire day to stack those little pieces together. But when you decide to discard something, it takes only half an hour to tear it down completely. After cleaning up the last traces, I left the keys on the coffee table and closed the door on my love with Joel for good. On the fourth day, in Bie's endless white snowfields, Joel built two snowmen leaning sweetly against each other for Gloria. When she thoughtfully wrote "Forever Together" on the snow. I was at a small bar, saying goodbye to my friends. Tipsy and blurry-eyed, we ended up at a KTV. My friends didn't shove me into a corner. They didn't order me around to pick songs or fetch drinks. They surrounded me, arms over shoulders, singing at the top of their lungs. Crying and laughing at once. To Anna, may your future be brilliant, may you shine bright, long live singlehood. Singlehood won't last forever. But friendship will. I thanked them for pulling me out of the fire again and again when I was peeling myself raw with pain. When I had a fever, they brought medicine to my door. In torrential rain, friendship ferried me home. Even at the airport in the dead of night, it was they who wrapped their arms around the lonely me. And reminded me that I was not alone. Every time I was rotting to the point of giving up. Seeds of friendship bloomed into flowers of salvation inside my wounds. We drank until dawn. Back at the hotel, I collapsed onto the bed and fell asleep instantly. Chapter 9. On the fifth day, Joel and Gloria walked hand in hand, fingers intertwined. She said, "Such a pity, sis. I just grew up a little too late. He met you first." Meanwhile, I wandered through the streets and alleys of Nanchang, tasting every kind of street snack, spicy, fragrant, tongue-numbing, blazing hot. How they tasted, only I knew. On the sixth day, in the pink-tinted snowfield, Joel pulled Gloria into his arms. Gloria said, "Sis, don't you see it yet? You're the extra one. He loves me." I didn't have time to see. My work handover was reaching its final stage. My colleagues threw me a farewell party. Without Joel's cold stares policing my drinking. I clinked glasses freely, and got drunk again. On the seventh day, Joel texted me. "Landing in 3 hours. Gloria's heading back to Yunqing. Come pick me up. I can't carry all the gifts I got for you." That was Joel's usual way of making peace, firm, commanding, as if reconciliation were a given. What he didn't know was that my flight abroad was also in 3 hours. I didn't reply. He went crazy calling me. I hung up every single one. Gloria sent me a message. "Thanks for lending Senior to me for 7 days. Short, but we did everything we should. I gave myself to him. I have no regrets." She had no regrets. Neither did I. All those boastful photos in their group chats. The innocent act provocations, stepping on other girls' feelings. Her shamelessness in knowingly playing the other woman. I compiled them all into a PPT. The moment their plane took off. I forwarded it to all of Joel's classmates. And to their girlfriends as well. The annoying older sisters Gloria loved to mock. Chapter 10. Senior Oscar is the best. He ditched his date to help me take the cat to the vet. Even Senior Joel says that annoying older sister is way more sensible than you. Senior Diego waited in line forever to buy me the first milk tea of autumn. That annoying older sister only gets what I don't want. Senior Jiang said he's already reserved next autumn's first milk tea for me. "Sis, what flavor do you want? I'll have him bring you one too." "Sorry, sis." Oscar was supposed to accompany me to pick up fallen leaves. But since annoying older sister threw a breakup tantrum, I had to borrow Senior Jiang for 2 days. "You're so understanding, you wouldn't break up over something like that, right?" Senior Jiang is so sweet. When he saw Senior Diego give my birthday gift to annoying older sister instead, he insisted on making it up to me. I asked for Sis's engagement ring. She won't be stingy and refuse, right? Every time she flaunted her triumph. It was built on another girl's pain and tears. So whatever she got in return, she deserved it. After confirming that everyone had received the file, I blocked and deleted Gloria, Joel, and that rotten circle of classmates in one clean sweep. The week-long snowstorm finally cleared. The moment I stepped onto the plane, the sky turned bright. I walked alone out of the storm. Tears mingling with blood, blooming along the way. Today, I finally laid the past to rest. From this moment on, a brilliant future awaits. Chapter 11. Joel had never felt 3 hours stretch this long. Restless, unable to sit still. His mind was filled with those unanswered international calls. He should have been absolutely certain. Anna couldn't live without him. Anna came from a broken family. Her father, addicted to gambling, lost control and stabbed someone, 1 dead, 2 injured. From that day on, she carried the label, the murderer's daughter. Her mother had married far away, and she grew up with her grandmother, timid, insecure, always walking on eggshells. Until she met him. Anna was beautiful, resilient, as if no hardship could break her. She was so sensible that even when he pursued her, she confirmed again and again. You graduated from a prestigious university. Your future is bright. Are you sure you want to be with the daughter of a killer? Will your family agree? What will your friends and colleagues think? Don't joke. Love has never been a necessity for someone like me. She was like a daisy blooming on a wall. Small, facing wind and rain, yet blooming fiercely and proudly. He loved her. He pitied her. With the greatest tolerance, the firmest choice, and the longest companionship and encouragement. He helped her rediscover herself again and again. Helped her reclaim control over her life. It could be said that he wasn't just her benefactor. He was her emotional pillar, her spiritual anchor. She couldn't live without him. Joel knew that better than anyone. Maybe that day he was too focused on choosing cat food and forgot about her brown sugar water. Maybe he shouldn't have slammed the door she had carefully picked. Or maybe this Cold War had lasted too long and chilled her heart. That was why this time she didn't reconcile so easily. It didn't matter. After Anna's grandmother passed away, he had become her only emotional support. Besides love that couldn't be cut away. She had an almost addictive dependence on him. Maybe she was just being stubborn. Maybe she was already waiting at the airport, ready to receive his surprise and gifts. Until the plane landed. Joel rushed to the arrivals gate, scanning the crowd, desperately for her familiar figure. But she wasn't there. She hadn't come. A wave of panic hit him. For the first time, he wasn't sure. Was he really able to win her back this time? Could someone so resilient truly endure the pain and quit a fatal addiction? With trembling hands, he took out his phone and dialed Anna's number. The automated voice informed him the number no longer existed. He froze. Before he could open WeChat, the pinned class group exploded with hundreds of new messages. Chapter 12. First, Oscar's girlfriend went off in the group, calling Gloria a pretentious coquette. She accused Gloria of seducing her boyfriend into canceling their date to bathe her cat, leaving her alone and nearly harassed by a drunk man. Then Diego's fiancée posted their marriage certificate, demanding Gloria return what belonged to their shared marital property. Every gift Diego had given Gloria turned out to be something he had bought behind his wife's back. The group erupted. 2 couples, 4 people, tearing each other apart in public. Finally, a peacemaker classmate typed, "The professor treated us so well. Being nice to his junior is just repaying kindness. There's no need to be so petty. Look at Joel. He spent hundreds of thousands. Even took Gloria on the honeymoon. Anna didn't go crazy." Oscar's girlfriend Selena replied. "She didn't go crazy. She just dumped that trash." Then she exited the group. An eerie silence followed. Joel stared at the last line again and again. She just dumped that trash. She just dumped that trash. It felt like a punch to the gut. Shaking, he scrolled down and finally found Anna. He sent a simple greeting. A red exclamation mark appeared instantly. Blocked. Joel went mad. And he was afraid. Ignoring Gloria behind him, he jumped into a taxi and rushed back. He prayed silently. She's just angry. Just trying to make me see her pain. When I open the door, she'll be there, sitting on the couch, waiting for me. It won't happen again. Neglecting her was my fault. Ignoring her was my fault. Being influenced by classmates and misled by that junior, it was all my blindness. I love Anna. 5 years, she's already part of my bones and blood. I can't live without her. I can't quit her. Don't let her go. Don't let her leave. Until the door he had slammed shut opened completely. Chapter 13. The stuffed animals Anna had clawed back from claw machines one by one were gone from the sofa. In their place remained only the yellowed worn backrest of the old couch, cold and mocking. The green plants she had carried home pot by pot were gone too, leaving vast empty spaces, like the hollowed-out cavity in his chest. Even the heart-shaped wall she had built with her own hands had been smashed clean. Not even a shard was left behind. As if he himself had been completely uprooted from her life. The cartoon doormat at the entrance. The matching cups on the coffee table. The travel stickers on the refrigerator. The pink towels in the bathroom. Every trace of her had been erased. Thorough. Decisive. Not a single inch of space left for him. Her breakup hadn't been angry words. It hadn't been a threat. She had truly made up her mind to leave. She had seen through his wavering heart. Understood his indecision. Recognized the shamelessness of wanting everything at once. So she threw him away. Joel staggered, one thought pounding in his skull. Find Anna. Apologize. He turned to rush out the door. Only to collide with Gloria's wide innocent eyes. She's gone. Isn't that perfect? My luggage is already here. I can just move in. Senior. I've waited a long time for this day. The same hands that had once picked braised pork for him as a child. The same hands he had once held to teach her how to write. Now slithered up his lower back like a snake. You chose me. Didn't you? Joel recoiled in horror. As if shaking off venom, he shoved her away violently. You're insane. I have a girlfriend. It's Anna. Gloria's lips curved into a smile that didn't match her innocent face at all. A twisted, almost deranged smirk. She dumped you. Didn't you notice? I want you. Did you forget? We slept together last night. Anna knows. No, Joel trembled violently, goosebumps crawling across his skin. She wouldn't leave me. You twisted everything and made her misunderstand me. You planned all of this to drive her away. If I explain, it'll be fine. She loves me. I'm all she has. As long as I lower my head. As long as I coax her, she'll come back. She will. You get out. If you're gone, she won't be angry anymore. Desperate, Joel shoved Gloria out of the house he once shared with Anna and ran toward Anna's company. But Anna had left. No one was willing to tell him where she had gone. Her sharp-tongued supervisor, the so-called office tyrant, looked at him with open ridicule, like he was a filthy stray dog. Oh. The distinguished man has time now. No need to accompany your junior anymore? Suddenly remembered that bitter girlfriend of yours? Missing your housekeeper? For the first time, Joel lowered his pride in front of someone he had always looked down on. His voice almost pleading, as he asked where Anna had gone. The supervisor clicked her tongue. This deep love act. Honestly, you're not qualified. Anna turned down 2 overseas assignments for you. What did you do for her? Oh, you were considerate. Afraid she'd be cold in winter, so you gave her a green hat to keep warm. She smirked. Have some decency. Leave a good woman alone. Her high heels clicked sharply as she walked away. Joel tried to force his way in, but security guards slammed him to the ground. A passerby laughed. If you don't know where your girlfriend went, that just means you don't deserve to. The world spun. And in that dizzying blur, Joel finally understood. She didn't want him to find her. He had lost Anna. Chapter 14. When I heard about Joel again, I had already established myself in Lion City. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows of my office. Blue seas and white sails stretched endlessly into the distance. On the other end of the phone, my colleague friend was going on and on. Joel's gone crazy. He's looking for you everywhere. But we kept our promise, no one said a word. We're not letting that rotten cucumber disturb you again. He even tried the moral blackmail routine. In freezing weather, he stood outside my house and refused to leave. Too bad my heart's colder than a blade. I almost wished the snow would turn into knives and stab that idiot. Then that bitch girl came crying and dragged him away. Tell me, isn't he pathetic? When he has you, he thinks there's always a better mountain beyond. Once he loses you, he starts acting like he'll die without you. What does he think? That every woman in the world should revolve around him? I smiled faintly and replied calmly. People are like that. When they gain steady peace, they start craving thrilling excitement. After the thrill fades, They realize that ordinary stable warmth is what truly soothes the heart. But wanting both. Not everyone is that lucky. Don't worry. I've suffered enough. I really don't want him anymore. After hanging up, I turned around and saw my male assistant Leo holding a cup of hot coffee, looking at me with open sincerity. Boss, what would you like for lunch? I'll go get it. I understood the affection in his eyes. He said I was independent, venturing to a foreign country to build a new battlefield, yet still navigating it with ease. That I was an extraordinary woman. So he admired me, tried to please me, carefully tested the waters, just like Gloria had done with Joel. But I had once stepped on a rotten persimmon and dirted my future path long enough. So I told him honestly, focus on work. He would climb even higher than me. And if he kept bringing me sweet coffee and lunch, I'd have to replace him with a female assistant. He looked defeated and asked what was wrong with him. 6'3". Handsome. Considerate. Meticulous. Thoughtful. Nothing was wrong. But I had long passed the stage of sweetening life's bitterness with emotional sugar. I no longer craved admiration or pampering. I sought the security built from real money and tangible achievement. This job mattered to me too much. Office romance isn't allowed, I told him. And I won't tolerate someone grabbing my skirt to climb upward. When everything gets exposed, it's humiliating. The young graduate stood stunned for a second, then quietly left my office. After that, we each returned to our roles. I advanced boldly. He moved forward with determination. We became the most compatible partners. That was probably why Joel and I could never make it to the end. Deep down, he enjoyed flowers, applause, and admiration. He accepted Gloria's worship and flirtation without hesitation. But I only wanted steady, tangible peace. I couldn't, in the name of love, enjoy youthful devotion and bodies as if it were a reward. On Christmas Day, the vintage buildings of Holland Village were covered in shimmering lights. I held a hot latte, staring blankly at the twinkling Christmas tree. And then, I locked eyes with Joel. His gaze was bloodshot with exhaustion. His voice hoarse. How can you be so heartless? You threw away our 5 years just like that. Chapter 15. I looked at him the way one looks at the warm string lights across the street, calm, without the slightest ripple. Didn't you see the PPT I sent? Joel's breathing faltered. His face turned pale. I didn't know about those things. She set me up. They kept whispering in my ear every day. That's why I developed prejudice against you. I know I was wrong now. I've cut them off. I sent Gloria back to Yun City. Anna, we walked 5 years together. If you want to go higher, I won't stop you. But I'm begging you, don't abandon me because of those misunderstandings. I took another sip of coffee, savoring the bitterness, and replied lightly. So it's everyone else's fault? Are you a brainless pig or a porcelain doll that can be pushed around? Don't try to morally blackmail me. You know that doesn't work on me. Besides, you cut ties with them not because they hurt me, but because they turned the same tricks on you, didn't they? You used to tell me to be understanding, to step back, to stop holding on to things. Why is it that when it happens to you, you beat people until they're bleeding? Joel froze, staring at me in disbelief. He thought I didn't know. Not long after I left, Gloria's confession failed, so she climbed to the rooftop. She posted a farewell message in their group chat, accusing Joel of refusing to take responsibility for her, saying life was meaningless. In an instant, Joel became the target of public outrage. Oscar cursed him. The teacher treated you best, gave you extra lessons, fed you braised pork. And you repay that kindness by hurting her only daughter. You ungrateful bastard. Die. Diego spat at him. You slept with Gloria for free. Why won't you take responsibility? Joel was struck as if by lightning. When did I ever take advantage of her? Diego and Oscar cursed as they sent screenshots of Gloria's WeChat messages. It turned out that on the last night in Hokkaido, Joel got drunk and ended up in bed with Gloria. She had taken a photo of herself naked, curled in his arms with tears in her eyes, and sent it to her dear senior brothers. She wrote, "Brother Joel drank too much. He didn't mean it. I don't blame him. It's just, it was my first time. I don't know what to do. Seniors, should I go buy medicine now? Gloria was so kind. even after being wronged. She worried Joel would feel guilty and persuaded everyone to help her keep it a secret. Poor Gloria, she gave Joel everything. Yet he still wasn't satisfied. He wanted both. He wanted pure and innocent Gloria, yet couldn't let go of the bitter and resentful Anna. So they forced him to take responsibility. Chapter 16. Joel couldn't explain himself no matter how hard he tried. As he kept shouting that he was innocent, Oscar sneered at him. You're innocent? Weren't you the one who kept choosing Gloria over Anna again and again? Weren't you the one who found Anna bitter and difficult? So you let us isolate her until she left our circle on her own? Joel threw a punch. When did I ever tell you to bully Anna? Oscar spat out a mouthful of blood and immediately swung back, fists flying. Only after Joel's mouth was full of blood did Oscar, panting heavily, curse at him. There was one extra person during rafting. Without hesitation, you got on the boat with Gloria first. You knew none of us liked teaming up with Anna. If that wasn't deliberately pushing her to back off, what was it? At KTV, when Gloria said, "Sister, help me pick a song. Sister, drink this for me. Sister, open the bottle." You treated Anna like a waitress. You used her and left her in the corner for us to laugh at. If that's not your cold violence, then whose is it? And Hokkaido, no matter how much we cared about Gloria, we knew marriage wasn't a joke. None of us would treat a honeymoon like a game. Wasn't it you who, knowing any woman would mind, insisted on giving your honeymoon trip to Gloria? We liked her, sure. But we didn't empty our savings for her. Every single thing was your favoritism. You didn't want to break up with Anna. So you drove her away with your coldness. I even thought you were killing two birds with one stone. And now what are you acting out? Playing both sinner and saint? Get the hell out. Joel was dizzy. The group chat kept exploding with accusations directed at him, one after another. In a rage, he stormed to the rooftop, dragged Gloria down, and called the police. You're always making things up. You lied in front of Anna before, now you're lying in front of them. What exactly do you want? Oscar and the others rushed over just then. Gloria dropped to her knees and burst into tears, looking heartbreakingly fragile. I only came here to clear my head. It was your constant boundary crossing that gave me hope. You couldn't bring yourself to break up with her. So I just helped her see the truth and step away. I know she was with you for 5 years. I didn't want to hurt her. I only let her slowly understand your heart. Why are you so angry? Joel, you seduced me, led me astray. Took the most precious thing a girl has. And now you want to wipe your hands clean and walk away? Are you trying to push me to my death? Joel couldn't take it anymore and slapped her. To hell with you. Who was the one crying and begging me to stay? You said if you died from depression, your mother wouldn't survive it. That's why I kept leaving Anna to comfort you. I seduced you? You were the one who climbed into my bed. Afterward you said you saw me as a scumbag and wouldn't tell anyone. And now you're broadcasting it to the world. You're disgusting. Are you blaming me for telling people? I was just scared. You know it was my first time. Gloria collapsed on the ground, wailing. Oscar and Diego rushed forward and started beating Joel. You coward. You're worse than a girl. You're a beast. I'm the beast? Who kept using the teacher's kindness to pressure me into spending more time with Gloria? Who said Anna was overly dramatic and didn't understand gratitude? Who said if Gloria left the city unhappy, we'd have no face to see the teacher again? Now everything is my fault? You spent most of my savings. And in the end you get the good reputation. The selfish, shameless ones are you. Oscar exploded. If Anna hadn't sent that PPT to everyone, do you think we'd be dealing with broken engagements and dumped relationships? You couldn't clean up your own mess and dragged all of us into it. The one who's rotten to the core is you, Joel. The so-called brothers completely fell apart overnight. Oscar's ex-girlfriend, Selena, filmed the entire fiasco and sent it to me as entertainment. But that still wasn't the end. Chapter 17. Gloria's relentless harassment, the ridicule on social media, and the curses and betrayal from his former brothers almost drove Joel to rock bottom. But worse was yet to come. Gloria stormed into Joel's company, declaring herself his girlfriend. The female supervisor who handled Joel's work transitions. The female partner who negotiated contracts with him. even female colleagues who had barely more than a nodding acquaintance with him. Whenever there was a crowd, Gloria would rush forward in tears, snot and mascara running, grabbing their arms and pleading, "Please, I'm begging you, don't seduce Joel, okay? I can't lose him. Please." She even knelt in public, kowtowing and begging them to let him go. Again and again. She pushed innocent women into the storm of being labeled homewreckers. Someone filmed it and posted it online, causing a huge uproar. For those female colleagues, it was nothing short of a disaster out of nowhere. One by one, they began avoiding Joel as if he were poison. A company runs on teamwork. No matter how talented you are, you can't handle every position and complete all the work alone. Joel, once a rising star, a reserve talent expected to earn 7 figures a year, was forced to resign. He lost his mind, threw Gloria out of his apartment, and then disappeared from South City entirely. When Gloria couldn't find him, she lost her mind too, chasing after a figure that looked just like Joel from behind. She recklessly ran across the street and was struck by a speeding car. When her teacher rushed to South City, everyone finally learned the truth. Gloria had severe psychological disorders. The so-called scumbag she talked about had never had anything to do with her. He was dazzling and outstanding, that alone made him the object of her obsession. In the end, that man couldn't endure the harassment and left Cloud City. Gloria even slit her wrists to try to make him stay, but failed. Only then did she give up. But by coincidence, Joel once called their teacher to say hello, and Gloria answered the phone. She remembered that senior brother, whose walls were covered with certificates. The one their teacher always praised as gifted. He had succeeded academically, become a manager at a major corporation, bought a house in South City within 5 years of graduation. He was someone everyone admired. More importantly, Gloria had scrolled through his social media. Joel was tall and striking, even more handsome than the man who had fled from her. So she came to South City with a plan. And she ended the 5 years between me and a man who was never firm enough. Chapter 18. When I saw Joel's suffering, I felt no satisfaction, only calm. When you ordered me around, every word out of your mouth was about how much you owed your teacher. Your junior sister was already like that. If you had taken responsibility for the rest of her life on your teacher's behalf, who wouldn't have praised you as a righteous man who repays kindness? But you didn't. Why? Joel looked as if he might collapse at any moment, tears and snot running down his face. I never planned to have a future with her. I really didn't. Anna, it's all in the past now. Truly, it's over. Can't you give me just this one chance? I smiled. I gave you plenty of chances. When I was left alone during the rafting trip and we fought and broke up, I was the one who compromised and opened the door for you. When you treated me like a waitress at KTV and called me petty and a buzzkill, I hid at a friend's house and cried for 3 days. In the end, one "let's go eat hot pot" from you was enough for me to surrender. When I couldn't reach you late at night and was trapped in the pouring rain, waiting for you to pick me up. When I had a fever and the bed beside me was empty. Every single time. I truly meant to break up. But every single time. The pain was so unbearable that I couldn't pull myself away. I lowered my head again and again. You knew it. For the first 30 years of my life, I had nothing. The only warmth I could lean on was you. The only emotional pillar I had was you. The only person who understood my sensitivity and gave me tolerance was you. That's why you were so certain I couldn't leave you. It took me 2 months to detox from you. Like carving flesh from bone, I cut you out of my life completely. It hurt every time. It was excruciating. I'm not that noble. You cornered me with your so-called innocence. Why should I say I forgive you? I suffered. So you should suffer just as deeply. That's why I carefully prepared that breakup PPT. And sent it precisely to everyone who needed to see it. I knew long before you how unstable Gloria was. I just wasn't kind enough to warn you while you were busy despising me. When pain cuts into your own skin, that's when you understand. Joel, we've destroyed each other completely. Do you really think I'd still turn back? Only then did he understand. Even the breakup had been something I carefully planned after enduring enough pain. I'm not someone who wavers. When I say it's over, it's over. The breakup was real. The revenge was real. When I left, I never intended to come back. He buried his head in his hands and sobbed as if he had lost everything. But so what? He isn't stupid. He knew everything. The junior's admiration was never subtle. Her probing questions were obvious. Even when she tested him by asking who was better, me or her, he knew he was crossing a line. And still. He stroked her head and said Gloria was the cutest. If he was manipulated, it only proved his love wasn't firm enough. He deserved it. Joel kept pestering me, wanting to win me back like before. I was exhausted. I hooked my arm through my assistant Leo's and declared openly. A top graduate returned from overseas. The backbone of the company, my idol. Let me formally introduce you. This is my boyfriend. Joel lunged at me like a madman, trying to grab my hand. Leo shoved him against the wall. I heard someone's been looking for you like he's lost his mind. Mind if I help her out a little? Joel froze, panic filling his eyes. Leo continued calmly. At this point, what can you even give her? Don't drag her down in the name of love. She is her own person, not your life raft. Joel went still. Slowly, he understood. He had lost his job. His reputation was ruined, and a lunatic was still obsessed with him. What could he possibly give Anna now? Nothing but fear and pain. In the end, he slowly released his grip on Leo's collar. Like a drowned dog fleeing the battlefield. He left, yet had once deluded himself into rebuilding his kingdom of love. Ridiculous. Joel booked a flight for that very day. We never saw each other again. Love can be passionate, even destructive. But when it ends, it's like an unfinished novel, abrupt and silent. No long pavilion farewell. No wine shared in parting. Just one turn of the body. And it's a lifetime apart. Chapter 19. 3 years later, I returned home from my overseas assignment. Promoted 2 levels in one leap. I quickly achieved an annual income in the millions. At the company's annual gala, I represented our firm in toasting a major client. My once young assistant Leo had grown into a composed, confident man. Swirling his wine glass, he lifted a sharp brow and smiled. Standing on the broad shoulders of my family. I'm fortunate enough to finally stand beside you. Director Anna, may I have the honor of inviting you to dinner? 3 years is a long time. The place where I had carved out the tumor had long